Welcome to the Anchorage. Over my shoulder is not a boulder holder, however it is a Dell Precision. And we're going to be focusing on the look of it. As you can see, it looks kind of nice. It actually looks like it's got a little bit of retrofication done to it. It looks like it's from the 70s. It's very groovy. However, we're not going to be focusing on this unit at all today. We're going to be focusing on some other tech inside my home. So, given that, stay tuned. Well, welcome back, and we are going to be getting into this video, and I hope you liked my kind of a not so good impression of Dave's guest room, basement, garage, converted shed, VW, whatever. And just, shout out to Cyber CPU Tech for the stay tuned thing. However, back in 2011, I purchased my last printer, actually, and I haven't bought one since. And I actually stopped using that printer a few months ago. As you can see in previous videos, I had given it to somebody. It works just fine. It happens to be an HP DeskJet 2050 or something to that effect. However, that person needed a printer, lives an hour away from me, and was needing to print things all the time and didn't have any easy way to get stuff printed out, and kept coming down here or asking me to print stuff out, and she'd come down and pick it up, and it wasn't all that good, so I gave it to her. And so I was without a printer for a couple of months, and then I was actually gifted a printer a few months ago, and it actually happens to be it is an HP, unfortunately. However, it works just fine. And I tested it, it works, and it has some little quirks, but those seem to have been rectified. I updated the firmware in the unit, and I've got it working on my Linux box. You can see a desktop right here on my second monitor, because I'm on my futon, which is next to the desk. And so I decided, well, it's white, and I don't like the white. It clashes with everything. So I'm like, I've got the mid-century modern kind of look kind of going on in here, in my place, and never mind the blue. That's not mid-century modern, at least this blue. But I hope to rectify that in the somewhat near future. That near future is anywhere from 6 months to a year, maybe. Possibly longer. It depends on me, essentially. But I went through and I actually I made it not white anymore, and and it looks a lot like that Dell Precision, which is over there. And so that's what this video is about. I wanted to show you the ultimate end result, because I kind of showed you a little bit over on the coffee table over there. That I had started by putting the wood grain contact paper on top of the printer, and over time, over the past few months, I've kicked at it, picked it a little bit, did a little bit at a time, stuff like that, and I recently finished it. It was probably a couple of weeks ago, but I've been meaning to do this video all the way through. And I wanted to show the individual steps, but I had to focus on what I was doing with it. So dealing with the camera, stuff like that, couldn't do that. So what I did was I took it. I've got it right here, and I've got it on a Quaker style antique table, and which I've had for I'm going to guess 11 years. I had it. It was acquired when I first came into this condo complex, and it wasn't this unit. It was actually over there in what I call the bunker, because it's like in the ground, and the window is 5 feet up. 5.5, 6 feet up practically. And, whereas I've got a slider and I've got a patio. Awesome. So, I am going to give this a turn. And what I did is, in order to make it easier to move around, I actually placed Easy Glide sliders on the bottom of the legs, so that all I have to do is this. I can just pull it. And here it is. Here's the unit. So I'll pull it a little further. So try to get it a little more centered. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we'll go with that. So here it is. Here's the top that I did. I did all of this. I'm down here. I spray painted the paper tray down through here, and also down along the sides and underneath to a degree. The only section that isn't actually retrofied is the little strip on the back of the cover. There it is. Yeah, as you can see. And if I turn this around, you can see it right here. And all I did for this edging of this cover, all in through here, get rid of you, is I just took a magic marker. I just took a Sharpie to it. But I did spray paint all around this upper edge to get rid of that white and the gray and everything like that. So, and if you take a closer look at it, and I've got a couple of pictures here for you, you can go through that. And, so I've got the contact paper all the way around. It's looking groovy, and it's, I did my post testing to print it, to make sure that, any spray paint that I put in there didn't gum up anything on the inside, and it operates just fine. It's perfect, and this is pretty much it. So, and if I take it actually off, you can see the top of the Quaker table. It looks brand new, doesn't it? Well, that's just because this is contact paper itself. I have the skills necessary in order to properly restore this thing. However, I don't have the resources necessary to do it. But what I do need to do, and what I do plan on doing, is taking the table apart and shoring it up, tightening things up, possibly reinforcing it so that it doesn't wobble as much. It doesn't really, it's actually quite sturdy right now, but it could use some additional work. Just to kind of, make it a little stiffer, a little easier to work with, stuff like that. I've done that on a couple of other things as well. One is this rocking chair that's right over there. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Donna Strike. It was from her grandfather, and it creaked a lot, so I solved the creaking. I did what was necessary to do that. It was easy, but in either sense. So we've got this printer here. It looks really good, and it matches the Dell Precision that I've got over there. That Dell Precision is not an active computer. It's just there. I may use it for something in the future. I'm just worried about the power draw. So I'm just going to be doing that. So I hope you actually like this thing, and like the look of it, and this thing is groovy now. So thank you for coming along. Skál, and we'll talk to you later.